The camera fell before recording, so thank God no cracks, but whatever. Hey guys, it's Zuzu-Gi-Oh again, and well, as you can notice already, Matt isn't what I usually use, because we got a little green deck for you today, based off of plants, fusion plants. Yeah, that's right. We're talking about Aramid. No, I'm kidding. Predaplant here. It's one of my favorite decks, actually. It's a really fusion-based deck, if you can call it that. And it doesn't build boards, it's just a simple, pure build that I've made before. And I haven't actually played it or anything, but it was fun to build and fun to test. So yeah, let's start things off. This garden will be starting off with the main contender. It's 3 Predaplant over a Scorpio. Some of these names will be hard to pronounce, but I don't care. So when he's normal, or if he's normal special summon, you can send a monster from your hand in the grave to special summon another Predaplant from your deck. Oh boy, the camera moved or whatever. Yeah. You basically want to summon any of your Predaplants, but mainly the one being Darling Tonya Cobra to search for the fusion. But yeah, this guy is like really cool. He can send cards from the grave, send cards to the grave to God. Dang it. Oh well, that's what happens. Alright, next up, 2 Predaplant Spinodionea. So if he's normal special summon, you target a face-up monster your opponent controls and place a Predator counter on it. If it's a level 2 or higher monster, it becomes a level 2 or level 1 as long as the Predator counter is on the field. Or as long as it has a Predator counter. After damage calculation, if this card battles a monster with an equal or lower level, you can special summon a Predaplant from the deck. Except for himself, of course. Basically, this deck also, well, has Predator counters. These Predator counters all have the same effect, and they all apply the same way. And some of your Predaplants have an effect based off of your opponent's levels. So yeah, this can go against FA2 and freaking like destroy it. But yeah, so basically Predator counters, a monster with a Predator counter becomes a level 1 as long as it's level 2 or higher, basically. So yeah, Spinodonia gains off of that. So is this guy. Predaplant Flytrap. So if he battles a monster with equal or lower level himself, he destroys it at the start of the damage step, which is awesome. Start of damage step, so you can't change a ball to rock or whatever. But yeah, once per turn you can place a Predator counter on a monster opponent controls too. So he's cool. Next up, Predaplant Saraceniant. So okay, so he's basically a battle fader here, only it doesn't end the battle phase. So when your opponent declares a direct attack, you can special summon this from your hand, and after damage calculation, if this battle opponent's monster, you destroy it. And if this is destroyed by battle or sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you get to add a Predap card from deck to hand. So yeah, it's a good level 1, and it searches for Predaps too. Yeah, this deck is fun so far, right? A little green, but yeah, you get the point. 2 Predaplant. Oh god. Chlamydosendu. That's the best I can do. So yeah, basically he's a polymerization on his own. So monsters with a Predator counter become darks, and during main phase, if you fusion summon a dark fusion monster in your extra deck, you can use this card on the field along with monsters for a hand, field, and or other monsters with a Predator counter your opponent controls. So basically, you get to use himself and an opponent's monster to fusion summon for something like Storm Venom, which is awesome. Plus, the opponent's monsters become dark, so if your opponent gains off of attributes or whatever, then that downs them too. Next up, Predaplant Banks Yogurt. It's a kaiju, so you can special summon this by attributing a monster with a Predator counter. Yeah, it's kaiju. It's a tuner too, which is great. And if this card is sent to the graveyard, then you get to place a Predator counter on each monster your opponent controls. The same effects apply, so yeah, it's a pretty good card. If I do say so myself, I'll never say that again either. Too cliche. Now for the plant summoners, it's 3 Lone Fire Blossom, simply because, Lone Fire into Lone Fire into Lone Fire into for Scorpio. You want to get your plants out of the deck. You can send this to the grave for any other plant you control the grave, especially another plant from the deck, which is awesome. And now for our 1-ups, we're running, well, yeah, pretty much. 1 World Carrot Weight Champion, 1 Darling Tonya Cobra, 1 Predaplant Heliomorphancus. That's the best I can do. And finally, 1 Predaplant Drosophilium Hydra. So champion has an effect engraved that you can summon him by sending a plant from your hand or field to the graveyard, so you can trigger Saracent off of that. Or you can send anything else from hand to the grave, like Hydra here. Predaplant Darling Cobra. If he's special summoned by effect of a Predaplant monster, you get to add Polymerization or any fusion spell from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect once per duel though, so that's why you're only running the one, because Ulfra Scorpio can summon it off. Yeah, you can summon it off of Ulfra Scorpio. And Helia special summons itself if your opponent controls a monster with a Predator counter, and if he's destroyed by your opponent's card or by battle or card effect, you get to target a Dragon Dark or Dark Plant monster in your graveyard and special summon it. And Hydra, he's a Kaiju as well, only he can summon himself in the grave as well. So you can special summon this card from your hand to grave by tributing a monster on either player's field with a Predator counter. That alone is great, but its second effect is decent. Like, during our player's turn, if this is in the grave or a field, you get to banish another Predaplant monster from your graveyard to make one of your opponent's monsters lose 500 attack. So anti-Boral load, like, if you can say that. So yeah, all 4 of these are actually like really good cards. These 3 are the These 3 are the best Predaps. You want to summon this off of Orpheus mainly, and this is a spicy tech I found to be useful with Saracent if I ever find it. Moving on to the spells, we got 2 of the Preda Practice. Now I'm playing 2 because it locks into fusions. It's a really good card though. You can special summon a Predaplant from your hand and add a Predap card from deck to hand. Actually, saying that out loud now, I should bump it to 3. Yeah, I should bump that to 3. But yeah, it's a really good card. Summons a Predap and gets you another Predap card. So it's +2. No negs here. 2 Predaplant, Predaplasts. You get to reveal any number of Predap cards in your hand and target that number of face-up monsters your opponent controls and place Predator counters on each of them. So yeah, same effects apply. It gets your Predap counters onto the field, in case if you don't have a way to get them. Oh god, what's this? Oh well. Next up, 1 Predaponics. It's once per turn you can special on a level 4 or lower Predaplant monster in your hand or graveyard, but its effects are negated, and you have to pay 800 life points to destroy its card during standby. And that's cool too. Almost lost my breath there. 2 Predator Prunings. This is your monster born. You get to target a Predaplant monster in your grave and equip it, and special summon it, then equip this card to it, and when this card leaves the field, destroy a monster. Predaplant Fusion, only playing the 1 because it's a really good card, but I don't play the Trophy, unfortunately. If a Predaplant monster is on the field, fusion summon a Dark Fusion from your extra deck using monsters from either field as materials, including 2 or more Darks you control. You mainly want to play this as a quick play Polymerization, because you don't have to use you don't have to use your opponent's monster for like the Trophy or whatever it's called. You can play this like during battle phase, like attack for game using this or whatever. So yeah, it's a really good fusion. Now moving on to our non-Predap spells, we got our Polymerizations. We got the 2 fusion substitutes because of their on-field fusion summoning, and effect engraved to draw a card. And the 1 Polymerization, because it's Polymerization. The fusion substitutes count as Polymerization, so you can't play 2 more polys, of course, because, well, that's like playing the Heartbeat stuff, or whatever. Next up, 2 Instant Fusions, because you want to get a really good combo off of this. And this combo, which I'm going to show you soon, will be spicy indeed. Next up, our 1-ofs, we run the 1 Foolish Burial, the 1 Refusion, and the 1 Fusion Recycling Plan. I should really play Terraforming for this guy. Foolish Burial sends anything like a Hydra. Refusion is summons a fusion in your grave by paying 800, so it resummons your Chimera Flager or whatever. And Fusion Recycling Plan adds poly by discarding. And you get to recycle materials back to your hand. And that's great. Predaplant top 2020. Anyway, next up our trap lineup: 2 Predaplants, 1 Predaplant. So, Predaplanet, if a monster with a Predator counter leaves the field while it's face up on the field, get to add a Predap card from deck to your hand. And you can banish this from the grave, fusion summon using monsters from your hand or field. And Predaplanting sends a Predaplant monster from your deck to the grave to place 1 Predator counter on each face of monster on the field. And if you do any of those monsters, that's the same effect. Why am I reading it? Yeah, so if you fusion summon a dark monster while this is a grave, you get to banish this to target a card on the field and destroy it. So yeah, these 2 are like really good traps all of a sudden. But yeah. Next up, our extra deck. We're gonna start off with our fusions, because well, this is fusion based. 2 Chimera Phlasias. This requires a Predaplant monster and a dark monster. Once per turn, you can target a monster on the field with a lower level than this card and destroy, not destroy, banish it. Banish it. And that's awesome. And when an attack is declared involving this and an opponent's monster, you get to lower your monster's attack by 1,000, lower your opponent's monster attack by 1,000, and yours increases by 1,000. So this becomes 3,500 beater when your opponent declares attack or when you declare attack. And once per turn, the next standby after this card was sent to the grave, you get to add Poly or Fusion spell from deck to your hand. And that's a really cool effect too. Next up, one of the fusions. We're going to start with the Predaplant Dragosepelia. Once per turn, you can target a face of monster and field and give it a counter. Predator counter, obviously. And monsters your opponent controls with Predator counters have their effects negated. So yeah. Our 1 Starving Venom, because Starving Venom. 1 Mud Dragon of the Swamp, because, well, thinking about it now, Super Poly would work perfectly, but it's also an fusion target, so yeah. 1 Sea Monster Theseus. The combo will be arriving soon. Now, out of the fusions, we got Synchros. And no, not off of Balinks, whatever it's called. Zolkin and Clearwing. Some of you may know how this works, but if you set a card while Zolkin's on the field, you get to special summon a Synchro monster from your extra deck, being this guy. This guy can be summoned by sending a... I gotta read this again. By sending 2 level 5 or higher monsters you control with the same level, one being a tuner and the other being a non-tuner, and then special summon this, and that gets you your Crystal Wing. Plus, your opponent can't attack Zolkin while it's on the field. Or actually, you can't attack your Synchro, whatever. Yeah. I gotta read this again. Cannot be targeted for attacks or by card effects while you control another Synchro. Yeah, he can't be targeted. And next up, your Lynx arrows, 2 Wee Witch Apprentices, because you want those arrows. Yeah. Now I'm going to show you the combo, which requires the Zolkin and the Crystal Wing. I'm going to use these 2 cards right here. 2. So let's just say, I don't know, you have a Wee Witch or whatever, right? Wee Witch is on the field. Oh god, this angle. That'll work. Yeah. You've got your Instant Fusion and a Hydra in hand, and your opponent controls a monster with a Predator counter. You tribute your monster with a Predator counter, summon Hydra. Play Instant Fusion to summon out the Sea Monster Theseus. And afterwards, you're gonna... Actually, let's assume Hydra is on the field already. I don't know. So you're gonna send these 2 off for your Zolkin in defense. 2 zone points too. It also gains a 500 because it's dark off of Apprentice. Then you're gonna tribute your opponent's monster off of Zolkin, or not Zolkin, Hydra. Let's just assume your opponent controls a Predator monster now, and this hasn't been used yet. And tribute it off to summon the Hydra here. Actually, that doesn't even matter. You already got your Zolkin and your Apprentice. You don't need the Hydra because you've already tributed it off. Let's just ignore what I said. Okay, and let's say we have 1 random spell or trap in your hand. These are green too. That's awesome. So you set a card, Zolgan's Effect, summon the Crystal Wing to your other zone. So you get your Synchro. If you want, if you haven't used Hydra's effect yet, tribute your opponent's monster with a Predator counter. Then link these two off into another Wee Witch. If you want, though, because of course you're going to have your original Wee Witch or whatever. So yeah, that's a combo, using only Hydra, Blink Arrows on the field, obviously, Instant Fusion, and 8 card in hand, obviously. I want to say 4 card combo, but that'd be too complicated, so yeah. 2 card combo, Instant Fusion, Hydra, as long as you control a Link and have a spell or trap in hand. That's my combo. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. This has been my, I don't know. Oh shoot, that fell. Well, great. Yeah, this has been my Predaplant deck profile, 2020 March. St. Patrick's Day is coming up soon, so I thought it'd just be a pretty decent deck to show off. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Goodbye.